you ready, listener?
Aye, aye, Captain!
I can't hear you!
Aye, aye, Captain!
Oh, who sits down and talks to their laptop each week?
Two Nerds Podcast!
A wrestling and gaming and other things geek.
Two Nerds Podcast!
Shilling Super Blizzard shining with auto tunes.
Two Nerds Podcast!
Like, comment, subscribe, and we will love you!
Two Nerds Podcast!
Ready? Two Nerds Podcast! Two Nerds Podcast! Two Nerds Podcast! Two Nerds Podcast! Arr. I feel magical now. I also feel it's necessary to mention, listener, we're talking about Western animation today. We talked about Eastern last week with our super weeaboo anime podcast, so we figured go to the nines. Neither of us actually like SpongeBob. I mean...
it's not terrible.
It's mesmerizing, but I would never elect to watch it.
But
if it's on and I happen to see it with my eyes, I can't stop. Sorcery. Foul sorcery. That was the whole intro and everything, too. I feel good about that. I don't have to say anything funny. So, I'm Eric Day Chucci, this is the boy.
You haven't so far, so...
Fuck you. I'm a fucking wordsmith. Today we're talking about Western animation. We thought it was a great companion piece to last week's. And we've got another 10 questions. Not the same questions. I mean, some are similar. But, you know, this is in touch a little more with our childhoods. You know, when we were but wee chillins.
So, some of the questions have been changed to reflect that.
The first one is actually a great... I accidentally did that segue. How awesome. First question is, what were your favorite cartoons as a kid? I just sang really hard as a pirate. Would you please go first?
The bit was your idea. Alright. My favorite cartoons as a kid, like as a really little kid, I mean, I like the Looney Tunes, like everybody, like all little kids do, I think, if you show them to them.
I mean, it was okay.
But yeah, I really like the Looney Tunes. When I was a real little kid, there was another cartoon that I barely fucking remember now, that I watched like a lot.
Is it the Galaxy Express 999 again?
No. It was Bobby's World.
Oh, fucking Bobby's World. I remember mostly the ads for that.
Oh, yeah, Cats and Heat, by the way, deal with that.
I don't think they can actually hear it that much.
Oh, good.
Because it seems like every time I say that, unless they're like right the fuck here, you can't really hear it. But, I remember when I was younger watching that show, I don't remember a lot of details about it. I remember his uncle. Like, I remember all the principal characters.
Oh, and Rugrats when I was a little kid.
Yeah, I have an interesting story about Rugrats, actually. Let me finish my thoughts on Bobby's World. I remember the principal characters, but, like, as far as show content, I could not tell you what an episode of Bobby's World entails. Except that I'm pretty sure one of them was a parody or homage to Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. And they really liked making jokes about testicles. That is literally all I remember about.
It was on for a long time, too.
It was, yeah. And it wasn't like I was super young.
Like, it started the year after I was born, so I guess it makes sense I would have watched it as a kid.
But, there are other cartoons from that era, from before then, that I remember more shit from, but fucking nothing.
There's a bunch that I watched. Like, I watched a lot of Thundercats when I was a kid.
Sure.
The old Ninja Turtles cartoon, which we've covered in the Ninja Turtles podcast. But I felt like that was a good one to highlight because it's one I really haven't watched since.
Sure.
It was something I was into when I was a little kid. I fucking couldn't tell you what it was about. I remember mostly the intro.
Shit, I don't even remember that. I remember there was an ad on Fox Kids, and the only part I remember about it was that they said that Bobby was cute, astute, and tons of fun.
Oh, yes, they did. Yeah, that's...
I remember it specifically because I used it in a presentation at school, and my teacher got all snitty with me and like, what does astute mean? I told her, and she was like, damn, he still knows things. I don't know why when I was younger it was like my teacher's goal to prove that I was stupid. No, I know why, it's the American education system, but...
She thought you were uppity, in all likelihood.
Probably. It was fun to shame them. I digress. Rugrats. I liked Rugrats when I was younger, for a long time actually. Until one day I sat down and watched an episode of Rugrats, and it was just like a fucking switch. We're done here. It's not like it did something that pissed me off. It was just like you have evolved to a point where you can't watch the show anymore because it annoys the piss out of you.
Mostly it's what, Katsu's?
I mean, yeah, but like it's also just the jokes,
See, I guess I stopped watching it before that point. So,
But and it wasn't like. It wasn't even like, oh, I hadn't watched Rugrats in a long time, so I sat down to watch it and was like, ooh, this doesn't hold up. No, it's still the same fucking jokes. I mean, it's babies saying
you changed, not the show.
Yeah. But I was like, it was literally like the previous day I had watched it, maybe hours before then I had watched it and been like, okay, this is cool. And then I watched an episode and was like, no, it's over. The dream's over.
Was there anything you were into, like, a lot as a kid?
Yeah.
Separate from what we've already mentioned? That
Yeah, because I'm older than you.
I forget that, because it's not much.
What, like 12 years? 14?
13, yeah.
Like, I'm 50. What is the actual difference? Like 4 years? 5? 6?
Yeah, I think 4 years.
How old are you?
26.
Yeah,
3.5.
approximately. Yeah, about 3.5. Two Nerds Podcast, where we talk about how old we are. What's your favorite color of the boy?
Green.
Oh, mine's black, but purple's a close second.
Black's a close second for me. There you go.
The fucking Tiger Beat edition. No, the cartoons I was into, I loved the old Ninja Turtles cartoon. That was my bread and fucking butter. I watched the Super Mario Brothers Super Show. And I'm trying to only talk about the stuff I was actually like super fucking into. Like the stuff I would be like, no, it's on, I have to watch it. DuckTales, the Aladdin cartoon.
The Aladdin cartoon.
Yeah.
That shit was my jam.
Obviously, Batman the Animated Series.
Well, yeah, but that goes without saying. It's me.
Yeah.
Full disclosure, listener, currently the pants I'm wearing literally say Batman in giant letters on them.
And it's not pointing to his penis.
My penis isn't Batman. Bruce Wayne is Batman.
I'm Batman. Imagine me pantomiming a penis there. Tiny Toons. I loved Tiny Toons when I was a kid.
I liked it. I did. I liked it. I don't think I really could enjoy it all the way because I watched a lot of. I also watched Looney Tunes.
Oh yeah, and I was going to mention about that. I think I did. I mean, it was okay. Like when I was a kid, TV was sort of the thing I did. I mean, I played with toys and I did
You're an
whatever
American
too.
child.
But yeah, TV was kind of like a constant. So, like, Looney Tunes was acceptable. I never had any strong cleaving toward it. Unless it was Space Jam.
Looney Tunes was there.
Sure. And, and honestly, like, if I was watching Nickelodeon and, like, the Looney Tunes hour came on, I'd be like, fucking, no, go away.
Whereas I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, Looney Tunes. I'll spend the next hour watching Looney Tunes.
Space Ghost, Coast to Coast, and even the original Space Ghost.
See, I didn't watch that shit until I was older.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I grew up on it. So, there was one thing. It was just in my head. Oh, Freakazoid! I fucking love Freakazoid. I wasn't so hot on the Animaniacs. I mean, I watched them and they were funny, and but it wasn't like my Jimmy Jam. It was okay.
Yeah, the Animaniacs was certainly good.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I recognized that it was good.
I mean, I imitated the voices and stuff, but I wouldn't say it was one of my favorites back then.
I don't know it anymore, but I used to know the Capitals song. Like the...
Yeah, me either.
Or the country song. That's what it was.
It seems like there was also some other superhero cartoon that I watched a lot. Probably Spider-Man is what I'm thinking of.
Alright, stop, boy. I mean, I absorbed a lot of cartoons as a kid, but...
Well, like I said, I'm trying to think of the stuff that I really, made time to watch. I think the only other one was a pup named Scooby-Doo. I really liked that.
I liked the old Scooby-Doos. I kind of actively dislike a pup named Scooby-Doo.
I think I was the right age for it.
I think I was too old for it by the time I knew it was a thing that existed.
I also, as we've discussed before, I am kind of a whore for good animation. And the animation was so fucking crisp in that show. It was like...
Which is a very sharp comparison with the old
Oh,
studios.
yeah, where it was all dirty and hand-drawn on a napkin. Some guy waved back and forth in front of a camera. There you go, Scooby-Doo's running. It was all very technical. There were animation cells. I'm not taking anything away from those talented people who worked back then under horrible conditions, hand-drawing all of that shit. But I digress. So yeah, those were my favorite cartoons as a kid, I think. Question 2 kind of bleeds into that first question, which is, do you still think they're good today, or do you think they hold up?
I haven't seen Rugrats in years, I couldn't tell you. Batman the Animated Series holds up.
Oh yeah, and Rugrats is the same show. I mean, if you liked it then, and your sense of humor hasn't changed, you're probably still going to at least be amused by it.
But yeah, no. Batman the Animated Series, I know, holds up. I've watched that recently.
Yeah, you and I were watching it. Harvey, you.
Let's see. Some of the other cartoons I watched when I was a kid. The old school Ninja Turtles cartoon
Does not.
No.
Oh, wow.
It does not. It's bad.
Neither is Tiny Toons. It's just a screechy mess.
You know
Screechy, preachy mess.
Doesn't surprise me.
That kind of surprised me because, like, the Super Mario Brothers Super Show holds up just fine. Like, you would hate it because you hate puns so much, and that's pretty much all it is.
Yeah, it's just a series of puns.
But it was never anything worse. It's still two very charismatic actors playing the main roles, and a bunch of dumb puns and a bunch of dumb homages and send-ups to popular culture. That's it.
That's all it really is.
But, it's still as bad as it was when I watched it as a kid.
And as good as it was.
But, like, Ninja Turtles and Tiny Toons are just like...
Holds up.
No, Thundercats is... Well...
Like, it's...
I'm too old for Snarf, man. I was too old for Snarf when I watched
Masters
Thundercats.
of the Universe, then. He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. Too old for Orko?
No, because... Okay, like, it's the same voice, but it's not the annoying voice that bothers me. I don't hate Vagar, for example. But it was literally Snarf! Like that repeated as much as it was. Bitch. Snarf, Lion-O, Snarf, Snarf! Snarf, how about you stuff a fucking sock in it? I feel as though I would have done if I were stuck on a fucking space trip with this fucking cat asshole.
I like that. I've unlocked your secret hatred for Snarf.
No, I was so relieved when that new Thundercats came out and Snarf was just like a cat thing. And it just like purred and stuff. That only went on one season, and like episode 4 was a Moby Dick homage.
Yeah, that's better than it. I mean, that show was deserved better than it got.
Yeah, dude, like, don't mention a better show in your show. I was watching Game Grumps the other day, and Aaron Hansen actually got in touch with the guy who was one of the animators on that show, who I guess is fucking destitute and has no food right now because that show was canceled. The guy can't even sell his color palette that he used for the show. Aaron tried to buy it, but it's owned by the parent company, so he couldn't. Like, that animation was so fucking good, and the animator who did it is like fucking eating ramen noodles out of his asshole right now, and not like an elective fetish thing. That's just the only bowl he has. This joke has gone to a weird place.
Yeah, I was about to say. Maybe
it's a tragedy, and I really like that Thundercats thing. Even though I didn't watch a whole lot of it, we DVR'd it all, so it still got the ratings. At least we kept Ninja Turtles. The new Ninja Turtles is good.
Yeah, the new Ninja Turtles is good. Next question, I think.
Yeah, I guess next question. Freakazoid's still good. The humor's kind of dumber now, but...
No, it's just as dumb as it always was.
Well,
it's smarter.
Maybe. I don't know. Actually, I say that and I think about those jokes, and they're still really good. I think the music is... Like, that would get on my nerves. No, I want to talk about Freakazoid. Question 3. Disney or Warner Brothers?
I dreaded this question because that is a hard fucking thing. Because it depends on the scope you're talking about. Because Disney and it has the Mickey Mouse stuff, the shorts, the the Mickey Mouse cartoons, the various Goof Troop, that sort of thing, and Warner Brothers has the fucking DCAU.
You like you some Dick Ow.
I do like some Dick Ow. I love Dick Ow. All up on my face, neck, and chest. Okay. But
now I just see you with this huge fucking DCAU tattoo, like from face to nips.
All right.
Represent, motherfucker.
Like Bruce Timm is all horrified, like.
Oh fuck.
But the problem is that if you just include like the series animation, I think Warner Brothers has the edge. It has the Looney Tunes, which honestly I think in the end are more entertaining, at least to me, than the Disney shorts.
I respect it in the same way I respect the Beatles.
It has the DCAU and the various properties thereof, which are just fucking better than 98% of Disney animated fare, like series fare. Mm-hmm. Hercules the animated series was pretty good, but fucking Superman the animated series was better. And Goof Troop was good, but not good enough to turn the tide. The problem comes in when you include the movies.
I mean, yeah.
Because
Warner Brothers didn't do a lot of movies, I think, is what hurts them more than anything.
Because they have good ones. They have, like, Mask of the Phantasm. It's fucking amazing.
Space Jam.
And Space Jam. But, it has... They have... I don't know if the current DC animated movies are still done by Warner Brothers.
Yeah, Warner still owns that license.
Yeah, so...
Warner owns the license to the movies.
So, yeah. Then, moving forward, the DC animated movies are really good. But fucking Disney movies are largely fucking ridiculously good movies.
You know, this was the question. We came up with this list last night, listener. It's not like, this isn't like the ones we get off the internet. Because we tried, motherfucker, but we couldn't find one. It's too hard to Google. But we came up with this question last night. I think it was your question. I don't think they're really comparable. Like, I don't think I could ever come down hard line if someone was like, motherfucker, you only get to watch one thing for the rest of your life, either Warner Animation or Disney Animation. I don't think I would want to decide. I'd be like, fuck you, I'm going to shoot this guy who's going to destroy all of the animation or whatever. Like,
you and your secret option C.
But for this situation, yeah. But, like, I think there are other ways to approach a this or that kind of iconic question.
You feel like it's an apples and oranges thing more so?
I think it's like Fuji apples and Granny Smith apples, man.
They're both apples, but you want them for different things.
Yeah. I don't think I could ever choose a side, as it were.
I don't know that I could either, but I feel like the reason I came up with the question was I feel like it would cause a good discussion.
Well, I agree, but let's try this instead. And since I think we're going to be okay on time, Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network.
In the end, Cartoon Network.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, is that because of their original series, because of the old Hanna-Barbera cartoons, just a sort of feel?
Original series.
Yeah.
I like the Cartoon Network original series quite a bit.
Right on. I would probably, if we're just strictly talking cartoons, I would agree with you. Because didn't no Cartoon Network give us Ronald McDonald in Hell? Listener, if you have not seen the fucking Ronald McDonald cartoon, look, I like Ronald McDonald. I mean, he's a clown and that gets him an in, first of all. But beyond that, I fucking like him. I think he's endearing and magical. Don't even start with that pedophile bullshit. But this fucking Klasky Supo cartoon is goddamn horrifying. And the live action parts are worse.
He's not wrong. It is.
Oh my god. That dog.
The dog of nightmares?
Oh, fuck. But aside from the horror, it actually seemed like it was an okay cartoon. But Nickelodeon eventually did shit like Rocket Power, which, like, that was the turning point in my cartoon watching life when that show showed up. And I was like, I really like the dad and the fat Polynesian guy. These kids can go fuck themselves.
I may be younger than you, but I don't think that was the turning point in your life. I think that's just the show. Like, I think that was intentional on the part of the show because I like the dad and the fat Polynesian guy, and to a lesser extent, the lame ass white kid, because I like him for the same reason I like Chucky Finster. But those other, like, the two main kids, they were both douchebags.
The girl was okay.
Like, yeah, the girl was less...
She was a well-constructed character.
The girl was less of a douchebag.
And I think the only reason she was a douchebag is because she had to put up with her little brother and his dumbass friend.
Yeah, I'd say that's, like, it was a douchery of circumstance, but it's still douchery.
My sister was well into him, into that show, to the point that I was like, I actually got to see the Tony Hawk episode back when I was really big into skateboarding, as it aired, because she was like, dude, that guy you like from that video game is on this show. And I was like,
Say what now?
Say what? What the Birdman do? He doing 900s? He doing 900s. Oh. I liked all Real Monsters and shit like that. Like, but
yeah, Real Monsters, but in the end,
yeah, Cartoon Network. Well, but now, no, Cartoon Network still had Chowder and Flapjack,
and they have Adult Swim.
True. Yeah, Cartoon Network, you win, friend.
Yeah, that's
there. I feel like that question that felt better. I didn't want to walk away from that question like, I don't know, mincy. I'm going to fucking Cartoon Network.
Okay, then.
What cartoon would you recommend the listener? The listener.
That's
a fucking obscure Batman villain. No, not good enough for Batman. Daredevil. For 4 weeks I've been trailing the listener.
Spider-Man's all, the who now?
You wouldn't understand, Spider-Man. It's way too grim here. Grim and dark. Uh-huh.
Grim and dark here in Brooklyn.
Look, I don't mean to sound, I don't know what's the word, ableist, but do you think maybe you think everything's grim and dark because you can't see? And that's when Spidey gets punched in the face.
Yeah.
Deservedly so.
I don't know. Matt's kind of a chill dude. He might,
he might just be like, I hadn't thought about that.
And or like the worst he'd get is like the equivalent of a look. Like he would turn his head towards him, and there'd be a pause, and Spidey would be all like, "Sorry."
Oh man, that was fun. So yeah, what cartoon would you recommend to the listener?
Fucking Daredevil versus the listener. That's what I would recommend. That sounds like a great fucking cartoon. You know what? I'm not sure because that it presupposes that the listener has not already heard of these cartoons.
Yeah, that's kind of a weird one. It's like, hey, are you into cartoons? And they're like, I was a child at some point, yes.
I mean, there's the stuff that I feel like everyone should probably watch in terms of Western animation. Samurai Jack. Yeah, that's an important cough, ladies and gentlemen. I would probably recommend Avatar: The Last Airbender.
I think that's safe.
To most of the listeners.
I think that's safe.
Because I figure if the listener's someone who's a grown up, and doesn't still into animation, they might have missed that show, and that's kind of a tragedy. It's a good fucking show. The sequel to it is also a good show, Legend of Korra.
Yeah, I think that's both of those are pretty safe bets. If the listener wants to laugh, I think I'd be like Freakazoid. It's dumb, but it's funny because it's dumb, and there are only like a couple of bits in that entire series that I was like, on. It took all of the frenetic energy and weirdness of the Animaniacs without that almost like required Warner vibe. You know what I mean? The Looney Tunes and the Tiny Toons had. Freakazoid kind of let itself go and just be weirdness. If they wanted something more serious, I can't really think of anything better than TAS, man. I mean, like, I'd also like to say Legend of Korra, but...
Yeah, see, I work under the assumption that all humans have seen Batman the Animated Series.
Okay, working under that assumption, then I think I'm going to tentatively agree with you that the Legend of Korra is probably the best, because Avatar is so much more lighthearted at first.
Yeah.
That might turn a lot of people off. If they want something serious, go to Korra. If you want something, fucking weird and fun. David the Gnome. I also watched a lot of fucking David the Gnome when I was a kid, and I'm sure that show is still fucking incredible.
I watched a lot of Gummy Bears.
I did not like that fucking show.
I don't think I did either.
Oh man, I feel you. Like brotherhood bond right there. You just watch it like, fuck everything.
Like, that's just what was on?
Although, like, I had another cartoon that was like that for me, but then it fucking brainwashed me, like it Stockholm syndrome me. That was the, I'm gonna say this wrong, the Herculoids. Okay, it was this old Hanna-Barbera thing with like fucking cave people and big blobby things.
The blobby blues. The things that hang out with Space Ghost.
They do now, but and then there was something else that was like Beast Man. I don't fucking remember. And when it would come on, I'd be like, "Oh, fuck this shit! I don't want to watch this shit. I want to watch something good." And then after a while, I was like, oh, I kind of care about the Herculoids.
It's cartoons, man. You give them enough time, and if they're not terrible, they'll eventually draw you.
Yeah, Gummy Bears just never.
It wasn't even that it drew me in. I think it was that it was on after something that I liked, and I didn't feel like changing the channel because I knew there was nothing else on at that point. Like it was at the tail end of the cartoon block.
Right. Darkwing Duck.
Yeah, Darkwing Duck was fucking good.
Ooh, Darkwing Duck. It's not as good as I remember, but it's still okay.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
I think I'd appreciate DuckTales more now because there were a lot of parts that bored me when I was a kid, but I think I'd like them now. Whereas Darkwing Duck, I think, would be a little too ham-fisted.
Because it was a little more ham-fisted. That was its whole shtick. Had a little bit more pork in its midst.
So, question 5. Favorite animation, regardless of story or character quality. Just like the cartoon you like looking at the most. And let's. No, yeah, there's no caveats. Just cartoon you like looking at.
Okay, this is going to be a weird question. Stop motion count?
I don't think so.
Okay,
but I think CGI would be okay so long as it's like Jimmy Neutron, if that's your jam.
But I was going to mention Coraline because I don't really care much about the story of that movie, but that movie's fucking hypnotizing.
Yeah.
It's absurdly pretty.
I think stop motion is just a different fucking art form. You
know? That's fair. That's
kind
fair.
of underappreciated under Beetlejuice.
The cartoon?
Oh man, I watched that so fucking much when I was a kid.
I didn't fucking catch a lot of that actually.
It probably doesn't hold on.
I love the movie.
Oh, the fucking cartoon's so different. There's like a French skeleton and a tap dancing spider and a big hairy Texas monster. It mostly takes place in the Netherworld. And it's just Beetlejuice and Lydia going on adventures.
Is that how they pronounce it in the show?
Yes. Because it's neither here or in the afterlife.
I want to slap the person who came up with that pronunciation.
That's fair.
But, yeah, like, animation, regardless of story, I love looking at. That's actually kind of difficult for me. You have an answer? I can't argue that the guys who did Korra are fucking artists. Oh yeah, that's really good animation.
But I don't know that there are some things about it that I dislike.
The same, and for me, it doesn't meet that qualification because while it's really good animation, I like the story more, and part of the reason I like the animation is because it fits the theme, it fits the mold of the story, and I feel like that makes it seem better for me. So I don't want to say yes to that. This is a puzzler of a question.
Like I even kind of want to fall back on like a Disney animated feature. No, you know what? I remember why I put this question in here. Don Bluth.
Just in general?
Yep. My fucking god.
Yeah, those were well animated movies.
And like the most batshit fucking plots.
Yeah, that too.
But like I think what the fuck is the name of that movie? Rockadoodle.
Yeah, Rockadoodle's the name.
It's a weird fucking movie. But like like, I was awestruck by it even as a kid. Just absolutely stunned by the quality of the animation. You know, The Secret of Nim. And,
Fuck, I forget about The Secret of Nim. God, that was good. Yeah, like, I think I'm gonna sponge off your answer here, because I can't
All
really...
Dogs Go to Heaven. It's
Nothing,
really awesome shit.
nothing else, like, pops at me.
Like, I feel like Don Bluth, he did things with animation, that other companies elected not to do. And they were part of that weird sort of almost gritty time in animation that was in like the late 80s, early 90s, where cartoons got fucking weird. Like that Raggedy Ann movie.
I forgot that thing existed.
Like cartoons like that. His animation makes me feel like that. Just this weird sort of. I'm sorry, I'm talking in my own special personal language right now. Let me try to English that for you. There's an amount of tangibility to things that are animated in his movies. He does a lot of great things with light. He does a lot of great things with weight and movement. And he does a lot of great things with viscosity. Like, his liquids are really interesting. His semi-solids are better. Like, mud looks really good. And it's not necessarily just the quality of the animation and the shading and all that shit, because we're talking about the same assets with a lower budget that Disney had in that time. And Disney made some fucking beautiful shit. But the decisions made in what was to be animated, I feel, are where I find that enjoyment. Because, I mean, if you want to look at fucking, you know, the shaders they use on the fucking Flash My Little Pony these days are probably better. But not in terms of animation, but in terms of, like, color depth and all that sort of shit. But that's not what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about the actual graphics, the choices made there, the feel.
I got nothing. Like,
No,
I got
nothing profound.
no. I don't have any deep insights.
Right on.
Let's move on.
What are some cartoons on your to-watch list?
Gravity Falls.
Yeah,
That's probably
double,
number
yeah.
one on my to-watch list.
I want to get back to the rest of their current Ninja Turtles because it's really good, and they've like revisited a bunch of my favorite characters. Slash finally showed up.
Yeah, I wanna watch the current Ninja Turtles. I want to get back to Korra. I want to finish
Yes,
that.
I want to finish it as well.
I really like what they did with the finale. So
I want to
get there.
see Adventure Time. I want to see what that's about.
See, that's not on my to-watch list. I just don't like. I don't care.
I just kind of want to see what's going on there. Like,
Yeah.
I kind of think I'm going to go there and be disappointed and be like, well, this could be Flapjack. And it's not.
I think right now it's finishing up a couple series that I started and
Yeah.
didn't get to finish, and then Gravity Falls. I've seen enough stuff from Gravity Falls on the internet that, yes, sold.
Over the Garden Wall looks really good. It's like a Western Miyazaki film.
Neat.
I plan on seeing that. I think it was a miniseries at some point.
I should probably, like, if we're talking features, I should probably watch Wall-E at some point, shouldn't I?
If you're talking features, yeah, there's some shit I haven't seen. I should probably watch Lilo and Stitch.
I mean, you're not missing much, but it's a good movie. A lot of ums on this podcast listening.
Look, okay, we fucking opened with a song, so I think we're allowed some ums.
Fair. Open with a musical number.
Yeah, fuck. How often do you get that? And for Freezy, you just had to put up with a dumb ad.
Also, our terrible singing.
Amazing singing. What are you talking about?
It's easier to
My pirate CD is coming out soon.
Now back to the good part.
It's all 90s pop singles, but done as a pirate.
So you're doing Kids Bop?
No.
Like
Pirates.
Pirate Bop.
With,
Yeah.
with a Z. Pirates. Pirates. Bop. Oh, listener, if you could but see the look of mingled whimsy and horror on his face. Like, that's amazing, and I hate it.
Oh. What was the next question?
Favorite genre of cartoon?
Am I allowed to say superhero cartoons?
I don't see why not.
Yeah, superhero cartoons.
I like weird little pleasant shit. Oh, okay. I like slice of life stuff if it's done really fucking well. But if it's like lame, I don't fucking care. So I don't know if I can count that as my favorite because of how picky I am about it.
Whereas I'm not terribly picky about superhero cartoons.
Yeah, so then like little weird funny shit. Like
like your King of the Hills, your
King of the Hill slice of life.
Yeah.
Little weird funny shit. I mean, like Flapjack, like Chowder, like the kind of shit I can just turn on and be like,
you like whimsical.
Yeah, whimsy and just fun, adventure, whatever. It doesn't have to be something serious. I like this kind of cartoons.
That was a quick one. Next question.
Yeah, he's flying through this podcast. Sonic the Hedgehog cartoons.
Is that the...
No, I was just remembering the cartoon from my youth. I wasn't fortunate enough to watch Sonic Saturday mornings or Sat-Am or whatever the fuck they call it, which I understand from what little I've seen and what I've heard from the internet was a good show. Now I had the other Sonic series,
the bad one.
Yes. Fucking.
From what I gather is the one I've seen. It's the one with the fucking...
Like... I was fairly recently, reminded of the series, as a whole, and had forgotten how fucking batshit it was, and I couldn't figure out why I watched it. Like, it was visually and audibly fucking water torture. I don't know what the fuck was wrong with young me.
Like, it was the ones with the Pain and Panic robots.
Yeah. Grounder and the chicken guy. I don't fucking remember his name.
I'm trying to Google it. Fucking...
I'm sure it was like Balky or Scratch or some shit.
The one with the fucking chicken.
Yeah, the chicken and the drill guy.
Yeah.
The drill guy was Grounder.
Oh. Okay.
Garfield and Friends. Oh, I like that.
Did not like that fucking show.
Yeah.
Did not like it. Did not like Heathcliff. Never understood why people did.
Heathcliff was not a good.
Not a good, eh?
Fuck Heathcliff. And his red hair. And also Heath Slater.
I'm sensing a pattern here.
Hey! We mentioned Shining Wasato song, Fuck You Heath Slater. I'm not even fucking joking. If you would go to his Bandcamp page, link in the description, you would find that.
Part of the...
Shut the fuck up. You would find that song and many others for sale. I'm shilling for our friend Super Blizzard.
Fucking gotta raise a weapon. It's cool.
He's like Blizzard, the company that makes World of Warcraft with a cape.
See their little logo flying.
Yeah. I'm off to write songs about wrestling. Yeah. So, favorite cartoon movie is the one that's here, question 8. 8 for hate, and we hate ourselves, so we came up with this question.
Yeah, I believe that's exactly why we did it.
And I outlawed stop motion, so there's not that easy Nightmare Before Christmas for the both of us.
You go first this time.
Fuck you! Shit.
Fuck. That's hard. Because that has the entirety of the Disney fair, which are movies I love, let's be fair.
And my favorite Disney movie that's not Nightmare is probably Aladdin.
Aladdin's good.
But I don't know if that's my favorite animated movie.
Yeah, it has, but it also has all, like,
It's got the old Rankin Bass shit and all the Scooby-Doo movies.
The various DC animated movies, which
Oh,
I've mentioned
shit,
before that I
yeah.
love quite a bit.
Adult cartoons.
Justice League Doom.
Justice League Doom is really fucking good.
Shit.
Yeah, you know, I mean, like, I feel very safe with Justice League Doom.
Mm-hmm.
But
That's one of the reasons I mentioned it.
I don't know if that's actually my favorite cartoon movie. Like, there's a lot I like about that film, especially all the quiet callbacks to the Super Friends, which I watched a lot of when I was a kid.
Just peppered throughout.
Yeah, it was fun. But I'm not as big of a DC fan as you are.
Yeah,
I was always a Marvel guy. And, so it, like, that sort of nostalgia and inherent fondness is absent for me.
Yeah.
Not that those are bad reasons to enjoy a cartoon, it's just I don't enjoy it as much as you do.
Like, it's my... I think I'll use it as my placeholder answer for now, because I really do love that movie.
Sure, yeah, no, it's great. I would recommend it to the listener.
Yeah.
I think it's still on Netflix.
That's a hard call to make, you know? Ultimately, that's a real hard call.
I'm trying to think of a cartoon that I've watched, like, a cartoon movie that I've watched more than once recently. It's not El Super Beasto, although that has an A-team like, we should just keep watching this. Probably should just continue to watch this. Daria?
One of the Darias, like maybe is it summer yet, or is it fall yet, or is it college yet?
Those are both not as good as the series. So
yeah, they're weirder.
No, I hate to do that, but yeah, let's just sit on Justice League Doom or Aladdin. Aladdin's really good. There's a lot I love about that movie.
I also really love like The Princess and the Frog.
I have problems with that movie.
That's fair.
I think it's really pretty, and I think like a lot of the design choices were good, but it feels very rushed. Like there was a lot in that movie. I would argue more than needed to be.
That's fair.
Like as much as I liked the Fireflies little story, I don't think it needed to be there.
You think it was extra?
That seemed super fucking extra.
Yeah, I could get
it's just like and the jazz crocodile.
Look,
they're great characters.
If either one of them was extra, I feel like the jazz crocodile was probably
sure.
extra.
And they're both great characters, but they're both also like they don't fucking need to be there. You're taking away from other plot threads you established early in the movie, and where Beauty and the Beast is really good too.
Yeah, Beauty and the Beast is a solid fucking film.
Oh man, it's got all that Gaston in it. and all that the Beast.
Lest we forget, a direct correlation can be made between the amount of Gaston in your movie and the movie's quality.
Yes. Aladdin does not have much Gaston.
None, I would say.
I think so, yeah.
I'm gonna go with Justice League Doom, just as like a placeholder answer, but I'm not married to it. We'll put it like that.
Yeah. I still, I'm going to stick with Aladdin. You could fight me and be like, no, you're wrong, it's Beauty and the Beast. And I'd be like, okay, fine. You could be like, no, you're wrong, it's Justice League Doom. And I would be okay with that too. But let us remember, listener, that if we were including stop motion, it would so be Nightmare. Like 100,000 million %. Like no fucking contest. Even you, the less goth of the two of us, dramatically so.
Yes, very much so. Nope, too strong. Music numbers too strong.
It's just so good. Listener, I might be what the internet refers to as a furry, but I'm not a fursuiter. But unless you count several thousand bugs contained within a burlap sack as a fursuit, because I do have an exquisite fucking Oogie Boogie costume.
He's not joking. It's actually really good.
And it fits my dopey frame so well, and I just dance with my little arm flaps. My stupid feet. I got the voice down pretty good just for that costume. And didn't even really use it much. No. Mostly waved at people who were like, yay! So yeah, there's that. And fucking nightmare. Alright, so question 9. What would you say is your current favorite kiddie cartoon series? Like child-oriented.
Like the stuff that's aimed specifically at the younger audience.
Let's say 12 and under.
No, I went first last time. You go. I gotta think.
I believe that's a lie.
No, it was the favorite.
You
cartoon.
forced me to go first.
Damn. I knew the listener would be able to tell, but I figured you wouldn't notice till you were editing. Let's see. Favorite, like, children's cartoon. The ones that are aimed very much at the younger kids.
Yeah.
I don't know. Would you say, like, the new Ninja Turtles is aimed very much at younger kids?
I feel it's kind of an all-over thing. I'm sorry. I think I might have read the question wrong here. I don't mean that it's currently on the air. I mean, like, your current one. Like, what is currently?
Well, yeah, but, like, that's what I'm saying. I really like that cartoon.
I do, too. Let's put it this way.
I don't know that I've seen a lot of cartoons that are very much aimed at younger children.
That's true.
Except for the ones that I watched when I was a real little kid, which I don't remember enough about for them to be a favorite.
I think probably Gravity Falls would go in this place if we had watched it.
Is it aimed at the young kids? It seems
it's for younger kids. It's got some edgier stuff, but it's still for the younger crowd. I mean, it's not fucking the preschool Mickey cartoon or fucking...
I don't know. The original Batman the Animated Series wasn't aimed at, like, necessarily an older audience.
I suppose you're right.
It was aimed very squarely at kids. It's just they didn't treat kids stupid. So I'm gonna say BTAS.
Okay.
Because it didn't treat kids like idiots, but it was aimed at them.
That's fair. I mean, that's fair. I suppose it wouldn't be what I would consider an adult cartoon series, so...
Yeah, no. Well, there's no dick jokes in it, so...
Yeah. I don't know that that's my favorite. All of the accoutrement on my desk want me to say My Little Pony Friendship is Magic.
I don't think you're allowed to come up with a different answer. It's very clearly aimed at young children, and you have, let's count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
That was great.
What about those 3 back there?
9, 10, 11, that was Brandy's 12.
So...
About a dozen. There's some Ninja Turtles there, too.
Yeah, but let's be clear. I think we have our answer.
There's about,
I didn't even count the giant nightmare moon back
at least $100 worth of pony shit on my desk right now.
Yeah, I feel like you have your answer, sir.
Yeah, it's just really fucking good. It combines what I like about cartoons. It's got the slice of life thing, and it's got the fuck it, whatever you're watching a cartoon thing. So. And
look, it's a good fucking cartoon.
There's a couple of episodes that suck, but I think the movies are pretty good too.
I'm not into it like you are.
No.
But it is not bad by any stretch of the imagination.
Remember my Rainbow Dash keychain?
I don't know. More to the point, what the fuck what's with this? Why does this Rainbow Dash have a faux hawk?
Her hair is really hard to render in 3D, see, from the side.
Okay, yeah, it looks okay there.
Yeah.
It's just directly forward, it looks silly.
Like, it's not like Rarities, which renders really fucking well, in a 3D model. Rainbow Dashes is kind of like Mickey's ears, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's always pointing one way, regardless of what way he turns.
Which is really fucking weird in the current, like, preschooler cartoon.
Because, it's one of those things you don't really notice.
No, you notice it.
No. It's one of those things you don't really notice until someone has pointed it out.
You would notice it. Like, in the animation, it's one thing, like in the cartoons and stuff, but no, it's fucking noticeable. It's weird. Question 10, our final question. What a journey we've been on, listener. What is your favorite, more adult-oriented cartoon series? Like, late teenagers and up.
That's hard. because there's a lot of fare there that I'm really, really fond of. Like, I really like Metalocalypse, and I really like
Sure.
Adventure Brothers.
Sure.
A lot.
Both are very good.
Recently, I've been watching Bob's Burgers, and it's really
Yeah,
funny.
Bob's Burgers is really fucking good.
I'm probably honestly going to watch some once we're done with the podcast. It's very funny. So, it's... But I think I have to go in the end. I think I have to go with Venture Brothers.
Really?
Because as much as I kind of fell out of it recently, because is it still going?
Yeah.
Yeah. I fell out of it eventually. When I was watching it a lot, it gave me really fond memories, characters I really enjoy, and set up a lot of memes for me.
That's very true. I'll be perfectly honest with you. These last two questions, you've gone first. I've already had my answers for both. Because I hate you. There's part of me that wants to say Daria, but, like, watching Daria years later, it's still a fucking incredible show, but it's more a beautiful little time capsule.
Yeah, it's very much its era.
And that
it's
show...
not to say it doesn't hold up, because it does.
It does, but you had to be there. Or you had to have done a lot of research into the era. Because it is a product of its time entirely.
What's happening on the page?
God, my life. But yeah, I think maybe it would take second favorite, third favorite. Definitely 100% still holds up. Could watch the entire series again today. Wish I could watch the whole series again today. Netflix, bring back the fucking series. King of the Hill.
King of the Hill's really good.
It's the Roseanne of animated sitcoms.
I love, not the finale, the actual last episode, the episode before the last episode, which was the series finale, they decided to do.
Yeah, they aired them out of order.
Yeah, the series finale. I love that.
Yeah.
Because that is beautiful, man.
It's a gorgeous little episode.
I fucking love it. I think in the end I like Venture Brothers more.
I respect that a lot, actually. Venture Brothers is an incredible cartoon, lots of references. I think it fits more your very pop culture, shitty slant mentality.
It's very crapsack world.
Yeah, but like tongue in cheek and having fun with it. And that's me too, but I think more so I'm down to earth and care about the people closest to me.
Yeah, actually, I think you put it on Facebook. Your life changed the day you stopped looking up to / identifying with Trent.
Trent Lane.
and started looking up to Jake Morgendorfer.
He does his best,
And if there's nothing, Hank Hill is that same archetype.
Well, but I mean, yeah. There's so much. I feel Hank Hill. I feel him in my heart. I feel his heart. But
he would kick your ass for that sentence.
No, he just politely asked me to never say anything like that again.
Depends on how much he likes you.
Or he would pat me on the shoulder and say, I appreciate you as well.
No, I'm pretty sure it'd be the second one or the first one. Depends on how much you've already pissed him off.
Maybe if I were foreign, he would respect the fact that I made weird words.
Yeah, like if you were Junichiro.
Fucking Junichiro. But yeah, that's kind of prevalent in all of my shit. I mean, everything that's my favorite that wins out, even over stuff that is who I am to a core. For example, as the list sat, because we're going to do an eventual podcast on it again, but as the list sat the last time we discussed our top 20 favorite movies, The Crow had sunk to number 2. And that's all about romance and being goth and revenge. And
Doesn't matter.
That's money, but it doesn't matter because number 1 was about a fucked up little family doing their best.
You're a very family oriented guy.
But not necessarily like, I really care about all my cousins and my sister and my brothers and my mom and my dad. I mean, I do, but like the blood of the covenant, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I appreciate seeing that. You know, in the end, Dale's a fucking giblet head, but Hank still loves him.
You did it,
And I can relate.
Yeah, for me, Venture Brothers is my favorite adult cartoon series simply because you're right, because it is very tongue-in-cheek. It's funny. The characters feel very real to me.
Oh gosh, yeah. I mean,
they're overwrought. They're over the top. Some of them delightfully so, like Dr. Orpheus. But they feel very genuine.
that show is very genuine, and I think that's a lot of why it worked as a program. Is it presented you with these fucking silly, stupid scenarios that that were carried out by people who, as the show carried on, became more and more real.
There's a line. I think it's a weird line to pick for this exact thing, but there's a sentence that helps encapsulate what I mean. Monarch's talking about 21 and 24 and why he always sends them out on missions, and he says, "I can't really explain it, but they have that perfect mix of utterly disposable and completely invulnerable that makes for perfect henchmen."
it's genre savvy, and I think there's a big turning point into when the Venture Brothers became the Venture Brothers too, because like the first season, a lot of it was just the premise, setting up shop. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like second season.
The trial of the Monarch, really.
Yeah.
Is when things got things went. Nope, this is the show now. In your slutty slut suit.
Hey, you notice when I said something the Monarch said, I didn't do the voice. Because I can't do the Monarch's voice. That's his thing.
It's rusty. I haven't rusty venture. No. I didn't mean to do that, but it was there. Low hanging fruit. Sometimes you just got to take it and suckle at its sweetness. But
you'll never get out of the home for infinite losers that way.
I live in the home for infinite losers. They have free Wi-Fi. Honorable mention for my favorite cartoon series aimed at kids. Definitely Scooby-Doo Mysteries Incorporated.
Yeah, that's a good honorable mention.
Like
that show's fucking. I keep saying the same 4 or 5 words because we keep talking about fucking cartoons that are all really good. We don't really talk about a bad one so far, but that show's.
We can sit here and talk about fucking Johnny Test if you want.
It's fucking awful. There, I feel like I said something else in the podcast. Mystery Incorporated is both a wonderful show on its own and a loving homage to the original series and pop culture and horror movies.
It's exquisite, but I think it's an experience, and that's why I can't count it as my favorite.
No, it's a thing that happened. So much so that we did a podcast on it.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't done a podcast on any other animated series.
Well, we haven't sat down and watched all of Batman the Animated Series, and then you probably would want to do a podcast on it because you seem to be unwilling to let me talk about Batman for 5 hours.
No, I believe I said exactly, motherfucker, because I started the sentence with motherfucker. Motherfucker, if you want to sit in front of a computer and talk about Batman for an hour, be my guest. I will edit it and upload it, and the listener can listen to it. I'm just not gonna fight you.
Fight me, damn it! Fight me!
Oh, God.
The line isn't everything's better when nerd pontificates on it.
Well, I agree, but you seem to really want to.
Fuck you.
I mean, that's a good closer if you just want to.
I just wanted to make sure we killed the joke by holding on it.
I'm gonna edit this out, man.
Oh, come on! Our thing is awful send-offs.
For a while, we tried. we would try to get the segue into the send-off to be, like, decent and stuff. Every now and then. Like, that one wrestling one I did is just fucking... But, usually it's just shit.
Yeah, that's our thing.
Everything is shittier when nerds try to segue into it.
Alright. If you're actually gonna edit it out, we'll pause.
Wait, no, there's no point pausing now. We've talked for a year.
That's true, you'd have to find it.
I already have to find it.
I'm making your life actively worse. Everything's better when nerds talk about it.
Fuck it, let's go hard.